All right. Hello and welcome, friends and fellow digital hoarders. This is Digital Hoarders episode 18, the first show of 2018.
We totally tried that.
Yeah. You might be thinking we did that on purpose, but if you're thinking that, you don't know us because we don't plan anything. We are here. We are docless, doc-free. So please stick with us. He is out on a cruise having fun, but we did replace him with somebody a little special, Chris Thompson of the Washington Redskins. You may notice him from your TV on Sunday or from Digital Hoarders episode 3.
Yes.
Welcome back, Chris. Good to see you.
Thank you.
It'd be better if you were able to walk on your own 2 feet.
I know.
But so anybody who hasn't seen it, Chris had a hell of a season. Just started the season on fire, and I remember Brandon talking about how you guys had talked about, man, if I have every game like this, I'm gonna have to do your show every year in August. And then after you broke your foot, Brandon was like, I don't know if he's gonna want to do the show anymore.
We were good luck for you, and now I don't want you to blame us for that. So please. But so, what has changed since the last time you were on the show?
The injury, of course. More video games.
Yes.
We got a dryer going on.
I think I've grown a terrible addiction to video games once again, specifically one that we're gonna get into later. But I think that's pretty much been it. I haven't been really doing much. Was having a great season, and that kind of got cut short. But
yeah,
it's football, so things like that happen. I just gotta man up and get better, get ready for next year.
You've been in ever since it happened. I remember texting you like right after, and you've been in high spirits since it happened. So you didn't hang your head, and which is good. I mean, I'm sure you did. I'm sure at some point it's got away on you, but you've been in high spirits ever since, and like you said, video games they're helping fill that void. So
yeah, they're definitely helping. But I think also just because I have some stability, signing a new contract and everything, there's not much to stress about as
true.
I used to.
That's another thing that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
Like I've been on this team. This is my 5th year, and this is my first year being stable, having a spot. I pretty much my last 2 years I played on a 1-year contract, so that was pretty tough. So had I had an injury then, I might be in a psych ward or something, like going crazy.
Yeah, I can't imagine what that's got to weigh on you. Like every year, just being like, all right, week 17's coming up, and then if the season ends here, I have no idea where I'm laying my head to rest in a couple months. I can't imagine, but
it's tough.
I'm glad you're here for another 3 years.
Me too.
So I'm glad.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. After we had you on the show, and I got to know you a bit, played some video games with you, and then I turn on SportsCenter, and it's just like running backs of the first 3 weeks, Chris Thompson, and I'm like, come on, guys, that's our guy.
We're gonna get you a Digital Hoarder shirt, so you can just kind of like lift.
Oh yeah. During the touchdown.
That's right.
Yeah, just pull out the shirt, show the Digital Hoarder shirt, and eat Starburst.
Exactly.
Yep.
Sold.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, let's just jump right into that. So
yeah. So you're filling that competitive void.
Yeah.
With another very competitive thing. What have you been playing?
I've been playing PUBG on the Xbox One. I've been playing it on the PC as well with the Xbox controller, which it works out pretty good for me, but of course not too well with guys using the mouse and keyboard. But I've been addicted to that game. I'm on YouTube every single day. I barely talk to my girlfriend now because I'm always watching videos. She just told me yesterday, you don't listen to me anymore, so
you think that's what she said? He wasn't paying attention. But
yeah. She had to say it through the Xbox headset.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, I heard what you said while I'm looking at the YouTube videos of how to get better at the game, but it's definitely addicting. The Xbox version is, still in the works. It's a preview edition. So
how much do you play? I asked that question. Are you going to get yourself in trouble when you admit that you haven't been going to rehab as much as you should?
Man, Honestly, I've been late the last 2 days to rehab because I've been going to sleep at like 2 o'clock. But since it's the off season, you know, they're perfectly fine with it. But I mean, I really haven't been sleeping much, to be honest with you. From I want to say maybe 4 to 12, I'm doing something involved with PUBG. Whether I mean, when I take breaks, I'm looking at YouTube videos. So, like, it's really become a problem. Like, it's a serious addiction.
I told him we're going to check him into a rehab for PUBG.
Yeah.
We're going to have to come June. Like, yeah. Because you got
come June is when the rumors are that it might kick over to PS4. So that could be just a whole nother addiction then. Do you shift over to PS4 then?
Yeah, if that happens, I'm kicking the X. Maybe I shouldn't say that on live TV. I might just play PS4 more.
So you played it on PC too. Do you like the experience better on PC? I know I haven't played it since they did the patch and they released a whole bunch. There's a whole new map on there, right? Mm-hmm. Have you played on that map at all?
Yeah, I played on that map more than I played on the old one or the first map, but on PC, it's way more fun. I think because it's smooth. Mm-hmm. You know, you don't have the lagging issues that's going on Xbox right now.
Right.
And the graphics are way better.
Yeah, it looks like a good game on PC.
Yes,
man. I wish, I sent you that video, but it was from my phone.
Yeah.
So it looked bad, but I wish you could see it.
We fired it up, and we were.
But I put it on my other TV. The better TV, and it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Like it looks phenomenal on there. So I'm hoping, you know, as they continue to work on this Xbox version, hopefully PlayStation coming in the middle of this year, that if it looks that same way, the sales will go through the roof.
Yeah. Honestly. Oh yeah. There's something about that game that just makes people want to keep playing it. Mm-hmm. It's sold huge, and for an Xbox game. We don't know what it's really sold, but it's sold as well as any Xbox game has in a long time.
Yeah.
And it's a preview game that crashes every 10 minutes. So,
So last night, Chris and I were playing, and we stopped playing at like 1, I think, give or take, 12:30, 1 o'clock. And I decided I'm going to play a match. Let's see how I do. And I was actually faring pretty well. And I want to say I was in like 23rd. And I'm all loaded up and I'm good to go. And I go and I duck into a bush real quick because I just want to load up everything and check all of my add-ons, and it crashes. And I come back and I'm like, please, I got in the bush. I'm sure I'm hidden good enough. Nope, I come back and it just says,
you are dead.
And I'm like, so yeah, that was and that was the moment where I was like, you know, I'm done playing for the night because I had a good thing going and then it kicked me off. But for the game to be able to freeze and do that to you, but still love the game, like that speaks to just how good of a game it is. You know, like it's irritating. Like Chris and I have played, and I've died, and he's died during it. It's because he jinxed himself on Twitter. Me and a guy were talking about it freezing, and he's like, "This never froze on me." Literally that night,
ever since I said
kept freezing.
Ever since I've said that, it's been freezing.
Yeah, so that sucks. But I mean, again. It freezes, but all you're doing is mashing that button to get back into the match. So, I mean, you know, that speaks volumes how fun that game is.
Super Cooper, you might want to delete that comment. I said the same thing. I had crashes, and then it started happening.
So, man. Oh, Super Cooper's going to be messaging you tomorrow and be like, damn, you're right. I can't even start the game now.
This is a good question for both of you guys, but Diego's asking Brandon, still no chicken dinner?
Still no chicken dinner.
How many number 2s?
Bro, I have... Well, it's got to be 12 to 13 second place finishes now. It's ridiculous. Like, and it always gets down to the circle is very small, and it's always that guy is prone somewhere, and I can't see him. So when I got to my last, I'm like, I'll just go prone, and nobody else. Nope, he totally saw me, and it doesn't matter. I can't get over that tiny little hump. And you said you got yours on your 3rd.
Yep, I got mine on the first day, 3rd match, and ever since then. It's kind of been downhill from there. I've had a few number 2s. I challenged myself trying to play a one-man squad and crazy things like that. That doesn't work out too well.
No.
But he said he did one-man squads and you get more kills in a one-man squad than he does anything else, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I feel it's like they let you go because they're like, I buy it.
Yeah.
And then you just murder all of them. Now, with that being said, so you've before PUBG came, you and I and Alden, all of us played a lot of Fortnite Battle Royale. You've gone back to Fortnite since. What do you see the difference? You said
I'm way more aggressive, but I'm way more accurate with my with my shooting, my aiming.
Okay.
And it just seems like it's a lot easier. And I think my second match, once I went back to Fortnite after playing PUBG a couple days, I won a match. And I hadn't before then. I had, I think, 3 solo wins since Fortnite released their battle royale, and I've had 2 since PUBG came out. So it definitely helped me get better. I'm still kind of terrible at the building part. So
yeah,
when I did win, I didn't win from building things. You know, it was just just ducking and running.
Yeah, I think solo play now, it's a lot easier to win when you don't build anything in Fortnite. When you have a team, though, you have to learn how to build. So that's why I don't play with teams. But yeah, we played a bunch together before PUBG came out and you left Fortnite. My favorite moment, though, when we were playing Fortnite, it was me, Chris, Brandon, and our friend Andrea playing. And we're running, and it's funny too, because like, you know, I've met you, got to know you a bit, and you're a dude, you know, and I forget that people freak out. I mean, he's a football player, you know, and people freak out. So we're playing, we're running through the fields in Fortnite, just doing random stuff. We're not in a battle or anything, just walking through a field, and we start to hear,
this random has joined your party, and we're like,
I didn't even see
anybody know who that is, and nobody says anything, and then
I didn't see that at all. And then like a few minutes later, we just hear Cousins give the ball to Chris Thompson. Thompson running up the field, he breaks a tackle, he's in the end zone, touchdown, and just you hear the highlight.
There's Alden and I and Andrew. We're all like, is Chris watching his own highlights right now?
We were all just quiet. There was an awkward pause where I was trying to figure out. I'm like, there's no way Brandon would do that, and Andrea for sure wouldn't have done that. And there's just a pause, and Brandon goes, "Chris, you watching your own highlights right now?" He's like, "No." And then we hear another name pops up on the screen. It's just like, yo, is that Chris? Chris Thompson?
This squeaky little 14-year-old is like, is that Chris Thompson? Is that Chris? Is that Chris Thompson? And then I'm like, you can hear Chris says nothing. And I'm like, okay, Chris doesn't want this person in here. So we go and kick him out. And then, I don't know, Chris was said just some random dude and just...
I don't know.
I think where it came from.
Yeah, I have a bad problem with I guess my PlayStation, Xbox, and Facebook friends. Like when people add me, I just confirm it, add them back. I don't know who they are. So I think that guy he ended up just jumping into the party because I showed that I was online, which I hardly ever do, and he just went on and was watching highlights. It was funny that he was watching highlights at that very moment, but it was kind of funny.
He was I think it was after the Raiders game, which Diego will love us to talk about how you thrashed the Raiders. It was a good game. Yeah, I've learned from that one now. It's just offline and private party chats now because that was enough weirdos for one just jumping in and out.
Just that 10-second period where it was, is that Brandon? Is that Chris? Chris is watching his own highlights while we're playing Fortnite?
Chris is like, damn, I'm good. Man.
Yeah. Yes. Just, need something to pump you up while you're playing Fortnite. But it's good.
It was funny, though, because we actually talked about it on the show. Alden and I did that. I don't understand it because I swear it holds true to when we play PUBG. You're better at the game than me. There's no denying that. But somehow your characters are faster than ours.
Yeah.
Like, in Fortnite, you're just like booking, and we all leave at the same time. And we're like, what the? So I don't even know how that happens, but his speed translates into the game.
Yeah, some people just have like an aura about them, I guess. Chris jumps into Fortnite and it's like, oh yeah, he's fast. Let's just make his character go. And Alden's way back here getting shot in the face.
Yep. Because Alden's slow. But one thing that you said with Fortnite that so if anybody ever gets into a match, and I guess you don't see the other people's names when you're playing solo, but if you're ever playing a game with Chris, he's gonna come in guns blazing because he doesn't sit back, which I guess helped you with Fortnite, like we were talking about, because everybody in Fortnite is just guns blazing.
So again, like in Fortnite, there were plenty of times where we'd be sitting there and Brandon and I would be like, okay, there's a guy building over there. We can go around the side. We're going to go flank him. And then we're like, where did Chris go? And Chris is just like, YOLO. Chris is like, I got him. He's dead. We're like, what's but yeah, that doesn't translate.
No. In PUBG, as we find out plenty of times.
Yeah.
Literally, we were telling Alden about this literally last night. We're sitting on a rooftop. And Chris is like, all right, come over here. Look out there. Look out there to the right. See that guy? He's all by himself. We got him. And I was like, do you want to go get him? And he's like, nah, we'll wait. I'm like, all right, cool. And I was kind of taken back. I'm like, oh, look, this is a different Chris.
He's learning.
And then he comes around to the side, and Chris is like, you know what? Nah, I changed my mind. We're going to go down. And I'm like, where's his partner? He's like, he's nowhere to be seen. I'm like, all right, let's do it. So Chris jumps over the top, and he hits the ground. He's like, I'm dead. So the dude was like waiting literally underneath Chris. The second he hit the ground, those two kill him, and then here I am like, I'll avenge you, and I jump down and dead. So Chris and I have very different play styles. I'm more like I'll grab a dune buggy and I'll like park it on the side of a cliff and I'll stand what's going on. And if I try that with Chris, we'll sit for like 30 seconds. He's like, man, we got to get moving. And the only time he doesn't get moving is when the storm is or the play zone is moving in. It is far too common. Damn, I try or beeps a lot. I apologize.
Where is it so I can turn it
downstairs?
off?
I don't know why it's extra loud today. Okay. The play zone, I swear, is our biggest enemy.
Yeah, that's definitely my biggest issue. Is just paying attention to the play zone where I have to go. Is like one thing that I do enjoy about the game is looting. Like I just love finding stuff. So like I'm going in every single house, not paying attention to the time where the play zone is and anything like that. So those first two play zones usually catch me, and then I'll catch that fourth one that kills me most of the time. So it kind of sucks, but that's all part of the game. I think for people that play this game on Xbox specifically, they overanalyze it. I think it's more of just having fun with the game because everybody's like, it's broken, it's messed up. Like I follow Xbox and PUBG on Twitter and everything that they post about Xbox, like people just going in and I'm like, bro, you bought a game preview edition for $30 that might change when it comes to full release and these people paying $60 for it, but like you're enjoying a game that's being, developed right in your, right in your face. Pretty much, you're playing it. You're giving feedback, and then they're doing, they're trying to find a way to fix what you decided was one of the issues.
Yep,
so
absolutely,
I don't see why people complain so much about it. It's like you bought it. It says game preview. It's not finished. It may never finish.
Yeah.
It says that in the description. So I don't get why people, complain and stuff about it, but it's more about having fun with video games. I would rather that than to get a video game that's finished that still has to send updates. That's 3 gigs or whatever, every month, every few weeks or so. Like it's pretty much the same thing. You're getting, especially with sports games, they're always updating them. So you're pretty much getting a finished preview edition of a sports game. Like it's always issues. So I don't get it, but
yeah, when it comes down to it, it's a fun game, so it doesn't really matter. If you're jumping in and you're having fun, then just shut up and enjoy it.
Right, yeah.
But you must not follow a lot of people on in video games on Twitter because it's just left and right. I mean, so I didn't follow a lot of people, or I wasn't followed by a lot of people when we started doing the show. But since starting to do this show, and Brandy used to tell me like, man, this guy would say this thing or that thing, just because I work at PlayStation, And now I start to see it, I start to get it, and people are just like, well, that's because you're stupid and you love the butts, and that's why you like Horizon Zero Dawn. And I'm like, okay, well.
I did like the game. It's crazy because it's one of those things that, like, well, the fact that I work for who I work for, it's like I'm not supposed to play an Xbox at all. That's not how that works. Like, anybody who's a true gamer doesn't care what the game, what platform the game is on.
Yeah.
I've said it a million times about PUBG. It's an ugly game. It's very ugly. It's also hands down the most addictive game I've played all year. So I don't care. It doesn't. I've played plenty of beautiful, crisp, pretty games that I didn't like at all.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter as long as whatever the hooks are. For me to play, and Alden and I talk about like trophies on PlayStation.
Yeah.
If a game doesn't have trophies, Alden doesn't play it. PUBG doesn't have any achievements because it's still game preview, but I don't care because I just want to play more and more and more PUBG. So the fun factor, it's a video game. It's supposed to be fun. That's why we play video games. So yeah, it's do yourself a favor and never like Google or go on Twitter and search just like PUBG because it's just going to be hate and visceral everywhere you look because it's disgusting. But those, people suck. So enjoy a game that you enjoy, and that should be all that matters. Has there ever been a game that's hooked you the way PUBG is? Like, what is another game before PUBG that had its claws in you that you couldn't stop playing?
Man, I can't remember. I think when UFC 2 first came out, like I was hooked to that for months. Like I didn't play anything else. And also I totally forgot MLB The Show.
Yeah, I was gonna
that game hooks me from March to June for sure. Like I don't play anything else that whole time. Like from release until training camp is over.
It's done now. It's done, I think.
Until training camp is over, or from release until training camp is over. That's pretty much all I play, like every day. So
damn.
It's gonna be a tight.
You build your own team, right?
The Diamond Dynasty. I do Diamond Dynasty, but that's the only sports game that I do like the whole fantasy league thing with. That's the only one that I really have fun with. I tried it on Madden. I can't get into the Ultimate Team, and it's just like way too much going on. But
yeah, there's something about MLB The Show. It's simple enough but complex enough that it's fun. I feel like there's a lot of people that play that game and just enjoy it that aren't big baseball fans. I mean, I'm a big baseball fan, so I can't speak to that. But
you're not a big baseball fan, really, are you? Like you're not a.
No, I'm not. You won't catch me watching watching on TV. Like I'll go to a baseball game and I enjoy going to them. But I'm pretty much like a Derek Jeter guy. So,
well, he's done.
Yeah, he's done. So I don't really watch it anymore. What I get from baseball is playing it on the video game. So I know everything about every guy from that.
You're like, Machado's hit power is. I know all about it.
And it's funny you say that because I was the same way when I was a kid about football. I knew everything about all of the players just because I played Madden so much every year. And now I'm kind of the same way about baseball, but I watch enough that it doesn't really matter. But it is funny. Like you end up hating players that you've never even seen on TV or seen in real life or anything, and you're just like, man, that guy every time.
Yep. Madden does it to me because I'm big on with Madden. Whenever I play Madden, I like to cut guys that are like 33 and up. Like I'm like, you got to go. Like I got to keep the youth movement in my video game. And then like
I'd be the opposite way. I'm just gonna get the old guys so I feel better about myself
because they're all still younger than we are.
Yeah.
Well, me and you. But but I'll always go out and grab like guys with like high speed and stuff like that. And I just through the years of playing Madden, it's really cool when you get these guys that are complete no names and then they turn into something in real life.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm always like, like Tyreek Hill I had in my rookie year in Madden. Nobody ever heard of him before that. And then I get him and now he can't be stopped and with Kansas City. I'm like, I know that guy.
Yeah.
I know that guy. But when you do play, so you don't. I know we've talked about Madden. You don't play a whole lot of Madden, right? Because
no, I don't. When Madden first releases, I get every single Madden, of course. But when it first releases, for the first couple months, I play it, and then after that, I can't play it just because I'm a football player. So like when I call plays, the play that I call sticks.
Yeah.
But I play against guys that are using their nose tackle and playing zone coverage and stuff like that, and it makes me so it makes me so mad because I don't do things like that. Like I either control my safety or I control my linebacker. If he's in zone or if he's blitzing, that's what I'm gonna do with that guy. And I don't really do a lot of audibles because you don't do that in a real game.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have every receiver running slant routes and everybody crossing. You don't have that happening. Like if a quarterback sees, if a quarterback is given two different plays, or he might see a wide receiver in one-on-one coverage, he might give him a go route every now and then or something like that. But changing everybody on every play, I just can't. I can't deal with it.
What if next year you line up against the Eagles, game 1? I don't know what the schedule is next year. And they just start doing that every play. The defense is just like moving around and just like, you just gave away the secret. This is what's going to get in your head.
I'm going to be like, all right, coach, just hold on real quick because they cheating over here.
Fire up Madden.
Playing real life Madden over here.
Or you're going to get tackled and someone's just going to be laying there in the pile just going, I got a chicken dinner last night. You didn't know.
So when you're on the team, like on the Redskins, is there a good group of gamers on there? Would you consider yourself one of the biggest gamers on there or the biggest gamer on the team?
Yeah, I think I might be the biggest.
Okay.
Really?
But there's a lot of guys that play a lot. They're more addicted to sports games, NBA 2K specifically.
Okay.
They do leagues all the time. They've been doing, which is so weird to me. They wait till after the season to do Madden leagues all the time. They'll do one during the season,
Can't get enough of
but
football.
it kind of dies down. And then after the season, when everybody's not here, they want to do Madden leagues. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
No
And then everybody plays Xbox, and not PlayStation. So it's like, I don't have any games really on Xbox. I just have PUBG and
right now, that's all
the exclusives that they have on Xbox, and that's pretty much it. Everything else I have on my PlayStation. So it's like I can't even join in on that fun to really see who's the best players because supposedly Preston Smith is one of the best on Madden and 2K and things like that. But
do you ever get mad about that stuff? Like, I mean, that guy's not better than me.
I think about it all the time. I'm like, I want to play these guys to see if they're better than me. I mean, I had some pretty good competition in college too. Telvin Smith, for example, the starting linebacker for the Jaguars. We were playing a game of Madden because he was supposedly the best one on the team. I mean, I lost, but it was like 21-20.
Wasn't some spanking.
Yeah, it wasn't a spanking. He thought he was gonna whoop me. So I always I kind of bring that up sometimes when we're around each other training at Florida State sometimes. But
are you gonna try to get any of the guys on the team into PUBG?
Oh yeah, I got Will Compton already.
All right,
he's on it. Mason Foster just started.
Nice. So you got the linebacking crew playing.
Jordan Reed just started.
Jordan, I know he's a gamer. He and I have talked games before. I know he's a gamer.
I think he just started today.
Oh, nice. All right.
We just had one of our offensive linemen asking about it today. So
I know Spencer's a gamer too. Like kind of sort of when we did the VR thing. I know we were talking a lot of games then.
Yeah.
I don't get the I don't get that he games all the time, but I know he is a gamer. To some degree.
Some of those guys get into it, man. We even have our athletic trainers getting into it. Like they're trying to get Xboxes and some trying to figure out whether to get an Xbox or PlayStation. So
simple.
I've been recruiting.
My man.
I've been recruiting.
Get some more PS4 players on the team.
Yeah.
Well, Diego asked a really good question. While we're talking about football and video games, Diego said, "Does Chris believe in the Madden curse?"
Who was on the cover of Madden this year?
I don't remember.
This year it was Brady.
Was it?
Yeah.
It was Brady.
It was Brady. I think that might answer your question because he definitely broke that curse. But no, I don't think there's a Madden curse. I don't really believe in it. I would love to be on the cover.
Well, there we go.
Madden.
Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, just throwing that out there.
I know they're watching right now.
Yeah,
John Madden.
I don't believe in it. I think it's just one of those things, and football injuries happen. So you can't say that it's a curse that, once you get on the Madden cover, you play bad or whatever the case may be. I mean, you think about it, you are getting a year older, or, guys, for example, Peyton Hillis was on there. And
one good year.
He had a good year, and then it's like now everybody the following year is paying attention to him, so he might not put the same numbers up. Everybody's not like that. I'll use myself for example. Next year, I'm pretty sure they're gonna be like, all right, when he's on the field, we're gonna stop him from running all screenplays.
You've got
that's what we're gonna do, because they started doing that during the second half of the season that for the few games that I was playing in. So I don't believe that there's a curse. I just think things in football happen. I mean, it happened to Odell 2 years later when he had an ankle injury, so. Yeah,
I mean, it's not like the entire Redskins team was on the cover of Madden this year, because the entire Redskins team went down.
Oh, my God, man. Funny story about that. So we had our exit physicals last week before the guys finished the last game. Oh my God! I looked at our team for the injured guys on IR. I was like, we pretty much almost had, like, you could name Pro Bowl.
There's almost a Pro Bowl.
Yeah, almost a Pro Bowl team on IR. I'm like, man, I didn't know. Like, I knew we had a lot of guys out, but to see everybody on that day, I was like,
old boy broke his hand picking up a football. Max was it Max? No, that
was LaShawn Daniels.
Yeah, that's it. Picking up a football and he broke his hand.
Yeah. Scooping up a football, broke your hand. Like, I don't know what to say about our season and our injuries. Like, how that happens. Yeah. Even my injury, I'm out blocking wide and Kirk is running the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was just blocking well downfield, I guess.
Oh man, it was just a crazy year, but we finished 7-9, which is not good. Yeah. And I don't like it, but I mean 7-9, and we had 30 guys on IR.
Yeah.
And our left tackle and starting right tackle were both injured throughout the whole year. So
even guys that weren't down were playing hurt.
Yeah.
And then when you get even going into that year, it was all just like that offense can't do anything with Deshaun and Pierre going away. And then that offense could do something if we could have stayed healthy, and like everybody was hurt by the time the season ended. I mean, prior we were, he was hurt. He didn't get to contribute like we all thought he would. And Reed was hurt. And we all know what Reed can do. And
just having Reed in there opens up the offense so much.
Yeah.
But
on that depressing note.
Yes, seriously. Yeah.
So how hard is it to sit there and watch that go down towards the end of the season? Is this just looking rough, and you're going to end up 8-8, 7-9, whatever, or are you just like, I'm going to focus on these chicken dinners?
Man, it was rough. The first game after the Saints, I watched because it was Thanksgiving, and I kind of had to watch it because family was around, but I didn't watch that. I didn't watch the next game, so I didn't know what happened. I don't even know who we played after that. Yeah. After we played New York, I just couldn't wrap my head around watching yet.
Yeah,
it's a terrible feeling.
Yeah,
and I think the only full game I watched was last week when we played New York.
Oof, sorry, I had to watch that.
Yeah, and that. Oh my God, that didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but it's tough watching, but I still have to support my guys.
Of course,
I can't be selfish, but it's hard. It's just hard sometimes. And I try to get over it with video games. Just I'm at home on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and I know on Saturdays they're at the hotel getting ready for a game. So I'm like, I just need to bury myself in video games just to kind of get over it.
And it's one of those things that, like, with Alden, I bleed burgundy and gold. I'm a huge Redskins fan. And I would talk to Alden after the injury, and Alden would just be like, I don't really even care. And it like, the team was going downhill at that point, but once you were out, it just kind of was like
the air was out of the tires.
It seemed, and it's like figuratively for us it was, but it also kind of felt like the way for the team. It was like the balloon just popped right then and there.
Yeah, that when I got hurt, to see my whole team come from the sidelines just to shake my hand. Like, I never.
Oh,
it's crazy. I never knew how much of an impact I had on my teammates.
Yeah.
Like, that was the moment where I was like, man, they really look up to me, because I don't say much. I speak to everybody, but I don't really say, when I'm in the building, I don't really say much. You know, I go there, I get to work, I kind of, you know, most guys, they talk to the guys that's in the room with them. So I talk to the running backs more than I do everybody else. But to see every single guy come from off that sideline, you know, and just looking in their eyes, how bad it hurt them. Yeah, I was like, man, they really look up to me. Like, I'm really important to these guys on the team. So that's another thing that just kind of gets me excited to come back next year and, you know, continue to play as hard as I have been doing, and to just know that your whole team is behind you. Like, that means everything.
Yeah, watching when that injury happened, that was hard to watch. You know, for me, for Alden, for Doc, for Mary, and then when they did, they I'm sure you've seen it, but the camera that caught you had your head down. That was just, I loved seeing that, even though there was no denying you were in physical and emotional pain. Yeah, but it just showed you that, like, you care, and, you know, because you see some guys get hurt and they're like, you know, and it's just, you know, and you saw it. So what I saw when the car was driving off was just the hunger that you're going to kick some ass next year.
Oh, yeah.
No doubt about it. Yeah. So,
well, we talked about last time you were on the show, you're just such a competitive guy. I mean, even in Fortnite and PUBG, and then we talked about, you know, when you broke your back in college, and just all you wanted to do was get back and not end it like that. Yeah. So I'm anticipating good things. We're talking about football way more than we planned on.
Yeah.
So, but in regards to what, you know, you talking in the building and stuff, you won the which I guess isn't is that a DC local thing that they came up with, the Good Guy Award, or do, like, I don't know if other places do that as well.
Yeah, I don't think other places do it. I think the Redskins media just kind of came up with it themselves a couple years ago, I believe. I'm not sure, but they pick a guy that they enjoy interviewing, and that you know, never gives them a hard time and things like that. So they nominated me yesterday, and that was a big deal. So I appreciate them for that. But it was cool. I try to keep it real with everybody. I try to keep it fun. I try to, you know, give them a laugh every now and then, no matter how corny I might seem. But I mean, it's cool. I enjoy talking to them. They enjoy talking to me. And I think, you know, as players, it's tough dealing with the media sometimes. But if you keep a positive attitude towards them, they won't bring the drama your way. That's kind of how I feel about it, because they never have brought, you know, any drama issues my way. When they have, I answer the questions and in a real and honest way, and not say what I'm supposed to say.
Right.
And, you know, they just kind of leave it alone and move on.
And Lord knows this team we've had enough drama floating around for long enough. So it's nice when they can keep it away from you. But all right, so something I wanted to talk about with you, like Alden said, we have talked a lot of football here. So the last time you were on, and Alden just touched on it briefly with the back, the injury, you had hinted about another story that you wanted. Did you want to go through that one? I don't know how long that takes, or
that one might take a little minute. So I'll try to cut it short, though.
All right, man. It's a great story. So
so I was in high school. This is my junior year of high school. I was in a van on my coming back from Dallas, Texas. It was me, a teammate of mine, and 3 coaches. My offensive coordinator, DB's coach, and my running backs coach was with us. On the way there, I had the whole back row to myself, so I was laid out good. On the way back, my teammate, he's a big guy, had dreads, defensive lineman. He ended up stealing my seat from me. I'm not gonna extend the story because there's a lot of details in there, but basically I was watching this movie Apocalypto, and I kept hearing this voice say, "Shut your DVD player down, go to sleep." And Like it's the movie's getting good, and you know we hear voices sometimes. So the voice came to me once again and was like, just shut it down, go to sleep. So then I didn't do it. And then I heard voice for a third time was like, just shut the DVD player down and go to sleep. So finally I did so. And when I woke up, I was walking on the highway when I opened my eyes, standing up, walking down the highway. And I don't know how I ended up there. Like when I opened my eyes, I was walking. Or when I guess when I gained consciousness or whatever the case may be, I was walking. And I looked down, had no shoes on, so I'm kind of stressing, like I didn't know what happened, didn't know if I got out to use the bathroom and forgot, maybe blacked out or what. But as I continued to walk, I saw lights flashing, and come to find out, it was an ambulance down there, fire truck down a deep ditch, and our van had spent around, flipped 3 times, and wrapped around an oak tree, and where the tree hit was right where I was sitting, and my seat was pushed all the way up to the roof of the car of the van. And somehow, I don't know, my coach that was sitting beside me, he was thrown out the window. He had some issues, and the one that was driving, his seat was pushed all the way back into mine. So I have no clue how I got out of there. My teammate that was in the back seat, his head smashed through the window. He had dreads, so that was the only thing that saved him from having any kind of brain damage. Had I been back there with my low cut at the time, I would have been messed up. So I don't know, to this day, I don't know how I ended up making it out of that with just a scratch on my arm, but somehow it happened. And you know, for a while I would have dreams sometimes to try to remember what happened, but I can't. It's like I feel somebody like just kind of pulling me out the car before it happened, which, you know, depending on your beliefs, you could say it's an angel. I would say an angel, because nobody remembers what happened and how that happened to me. I still to this day have no clue how I came out of that with no scratching. Pretty much everybody else had some injuries except my coach that was driving and I. So, yeah.
So if that doesn't tell you that a broken leg isn't going to slow this guy down.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
That is a crazy story.
That is crazy. All right. Happy moments.
Yeah, where do we go from there?
But you know what? We're going to make it happier now. So last episode, we did our game of the year and everything of the year, and I got your picks on it. But just to, you know, rehash what it was. So your game of the year last year was what?
Dang it, I forgot what I said.
Brandon's gonna whisper his PlayStation answer in his ear. I know what he said.
It was PlayStation. It was PlayStation. Horizon Zero Dawn. That was definitely no, for real. That was like my favorite game, and I think also because I'm not used to playing games like that. Like I told Brandon before, like if I play any like action adventure shooter, I want to see blood.
Yeah,
that sounds kind of bad, but that's kind of how I am. So I kind of took a chance on Horizon, and it was definitely one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah,
that I've ever played, for sure.
Yeah, no, that is my favorite game ever. And I knew I was gonna. It seemed like a game I would like. I don't know if there's blood or not. Doesn't change the game for me. But I didn't expect to just love it like I did. And I played put a few hours into it, and I've talked about it on the show plenty. I mean, everybody knows, I left my Aloy mug out in the car. Brandon got me this really cool Aloy mug for Christmas, and I should be using it right now.
You dick.
Well, you know what? I got you a PSN card. I don't see you carrying that around.
I'm just sitting there like...
but yeah, it's just a few hours in, it's just so fun. Everything you do in that game is so fun. They just did such a good job on that game. They just released a documentary. Well, they didn't. No Clip Games. I forget the guy Danny O'Dwyer, something like that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. They just released a documentary on the making of Horizon Zero Dawn. It's really cool. It's real long too. It's like an hour and 20 minutes long, but it's a really cool game to show how they went from, because I don't know if you played any of their other games. Did you play any of the Killzone games before that?
I attempted Killzone. I couldn't get into it.
I think a lot of people were the same way. I never even played it. I only recently bought it because I'm like, you know what? I need to go back and give it a shot because of Horizon Zero Dawn. But it shows how they went from that Killzone, very different kind of game, into Horizon Zero Dawn, which is just crazy. They just all they were like, you know what? We want to do something different. And they did.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And now you and I were just talking the other day. You want to pick it back up so you can play the Frozen Wilds. DLC.
Yeah, I might have to pick it back up to get on that DLC. I heard it's pretty lengthy too.
Yeah, so I just jumped. I don't know why I kept putting it on the back burner. PUBG did not help, but it came out right around the time like my son was born, so it kind of came out at a weird time, and my mind was not on video games. And then when my mind got back to video games, it was PUBG, and that's what sucked me in. But I just started playing it. Tip would be, if you do go back, you got to relearn the combat, because I was just getting my ass handed to me by things that should not have been. And I was like, I don't remember how to do all this. But I got it now.
The second you start walking up the hill in a new path,
like 4 of them,
and I walk up and I'm like, yeah, whatever, I'm good, I got this. I'm level 50 or whatever, and it's just like 3 hits and I'm dead. I'm like, whoops. And if you get how to play.
Did you beat it? Did you end up getting the armor?
I did.
Okay, so what they do to counteract that in this is there's jammers, and it takes your armor down, so you're not just untouchable to just stroll through the thing. Because I wondered, I'm like, well, it's not gonna be very hard. I'm gonna be able to just know these jammer. Anytime you encounter anything of significance, the jammers are there. Then the jammers not only block your they turn your suit off, they also repair the machines that you beat up. So, like, you got to kill them before the thing puts the wave out, which disables your suit and heals them right back up. So, it's no joke. But, how long did it take you to beat that DLC?
I think I played all the side quests, too, so I don't know, like, how long the main story was. I think I spent about 10 hours in it. 11 hours for a DLC. Yeah, it's great. And it's really fun, and it's got a cool story too. You didn't finish it, so
not the first one. No.
It's a really cool story that kind of ties into the main story. It's technically supposed to go right before the end of the game.
Yeah, you can tell that some things kind of dialogue trees. You're like, I already did that.
Yeah, there's some things she finds out and stuff during the Frozen Wilds where you're like, well, she already knew that.
Yeah.
It's whatever. The chat's making fun of me right now because of how excited I get when we talk about Horizon Zero Dawn. But you know what, guys?
Alden loves the game, but he is positively in love with Aloy. Like, I think if it was legal to marry a video game character, Alden would.
Look, I like her because the game is so good.
I like her personality.
And I like that she's always so nice to me. It's just she's like a strong character and she's cool. And
so awkward.
Can we talk about her some more?
He's like sweating under the collar.
He's getting uncomfortable.
Maybe she's watching. I don't know if Aloy's watching right now.
I'm getting uncomfortable. Chris is uncomfortable. What are you doing right now? Come on,
We're
guys.
Good. We're uncomfortable listening to you try to decide this. But so I know, and I've said it here before, when Horizon was coming out, my fear was that it was this huge 300+ hour game. Yeah. Because I know you and I talked about The Witcher. And you were like, yeah, I just picked up The Witcher. I'm like, oh, I didn't think you liked their game. And I was like, you're like, what do you mean? I'm like, that thing's like hundreds of hours. Yeah. You're like, really? No, I'm not playing this. It's like very bad. So, which is crazy because we say that, excuse me, we say that, but I guarantee your logged hours in PUBG are in the hundreds by now. Yeah, they gotta be.
I think I've almost hit 2 days now, maybe.
Just on one of them. That's just on PC. On Xbox, it's 3 days. Yeah. But so what about your album of the year?
I had Kendrick Lamar's album, his new album. That was some good stuff.
That's what I've heard. I don't see, the weird thing about me is like I'm not a big hip hop fan at all, but for some reason everything that Eminem puts out, I'm all over. Like his new album, I cannot stop.
Oh man, I'm all about Eminem. Like he's at my top.
Really? And I don't like always
been like every Eminem album is in my phone right now. Like
nice.
That's my guy. Like you talk top three, he's in that top three for me.
No, I love hip hop. It's I feel like an old man. I'm starting to get that way where like most of the stuff that came out this year, I'm like, this just isn't my kind of hip hop. You know, I like good wordplay and good rhyme schemes and all that stuff.
I am completely with you 100%. I'm not this new stuff, this new wave that we're on right now that my generation is on. I'm really not a big fan of it. Like I want to hear Kendrick Lamar, I want to hear Eminem, I want to hear J. Cole. I want to hear Lil Wayne.
J. Cole is my guy.
Yeah, I want to hear, and my thing about music is I enjoy listening to them put words together or tell stories. And it's like some of the things that some of these rappers say, I'm like, how did you even think of that?
Yeah.
Like that's why I really like listening to it, is to just listen to what they're saying. Every song I listen to, I'm going through the lyrics in my phone at the same time, and I'm like, wow. Like I used to just hear music, but now I really listen to it and just try to like, you know, get what they're really saying or what story they're trying to really put out. And it's like, wow, man.
Well, yeah, one of my favorite hip hop groups, I guess, to listen to is Slaughterhouse, and they're really vulgar and really violent, and they say a lot of awful things, but so I don't listen to them that often. But there are so many things in their songs with a wordplay, and you go back and you listen to it, and the 20th time you listen to it, you're like, oh, damn, I didn't even realize that's what he was saying there. But
so then I'll ask you this. So Eminem, the reason I like Eminem is for exactly that. Whenever I hear his songs for the first time, there's something about him, no matter how fast he's going, I can slow him down, understand what he's saying, and listen to the things that he says. Like in his newest album, he talks about he's talking about his ex-girlfriend and how she's a piece of shit. And he has a line where he says, she has what my ex lacks. And that's just genius wordplay. And I'm like, how do you do that? So let me ask you this. As somebody that if it's not Eminem, I'm not listening to it. Give me a comparable artist to Eminem that I can listen to that smart wordplay and really get into. Who would you?
J. Cole is real good.
J. Cole is really good. He's a storyteller.
Okay.
So he's like, I mean, you're gonna get the language, but I think he's more clean than the rest of the guys out there, because he's telling stories that you can follow.
Okay.
I think he might be the biggest one, and then Kendrick Lamar, you have to have your thinking cap on when you're listening to him, but he's really like, his wordplay is phenomenal as well. But J. Cole, I would definitely, because he's a storyteller, so you know where he's going with everything.
Well, and he'll talk about whatever. I mean, he has songs about love songs and songs about when he lost his virginity and how scary that was for him and all that stuff. I mean, he'll talk about a lot of stuff.
That's the thing I've always been drawn to. Like when I do listen to Eminem, he has plenty of songs that are just stupid, or like one of my favorite songs by him, if it's not my favorite song, is Kim, which is hands down the most violent, just vile song I've ever. I don't know what it is about it, but when he like breaks down and is serious, like he like kind of, for lack of better words, like lets you in on what I love that. Like this new album, Alden and I talked about it last week. Do you like the new album?
I love the new album.
It's getting ripped apart, and I don't understand it. Like it's so good.
Oh my God, it's so funny. I was listening to it. I looked on Twitter first because it was leaked, so I was looking at what people were saying. And then when I listened to it, I was like, what don't they like? I guess because this Eminem, he's not talking about killing and murdering and cutting his wife up and
sober.
It's not about that. It's more of he's 40 something years old now, but he finally grew up, and you see it in his music, and I think people just don't like that.
I guess
that's what they're used to getting from Eminem, and his song about his wife or his ex-wife where he was apologizing for everything, and then
bad husband,
bad husband, and then the last two songs on there. Well, Walk on Water for one, I love it, That's the Beyonce.
Beyonce.
That's the Beyonce. Okay. And then the last two, when he's basically talking to his daughter,
when he's dying on the
that one.
Yeah, he's dying, and then he basically, and then the next song, he was like, you know, they saved my life, and I was like, man, this is great. Like, if he does end it here, I felt like that this was a great ending to his career, but some people don't like it, and I don't get it.
I'm loving it. I saw a rumor, and now I want to buy into it, that if you look at the album cover of Revival, it's Revival, but it's cut in half. Apparently, the rumor is that he's got another one that he's going to kind of stealth. Because apparently he did a song with 2 Chainz that's just not on there. And they're like, where's that song? And apparently he's got a whole nother one. It's the same thing he did with Relapse. He did Relapse and then Relapse Refill within a year of each other because he put them together at the same time. So, but I saw one thing I couldn't understand is they were ripping on this CD because he does that song with Ed Sheeran, which is freaking amazing.
Yeah, it's a really good song.
Yeah.
And they're like, the old Eminem would never do that. The old Eminem did a duet with Elton John.
Right.
I mean, let's calm down. Like, yeah, he did. He's got what? Ed Sheeran, Beyonce. I don't even like Pink, but she is great in that song. And then my girl that I didn't know existed until that song, Skylar Grey. Her voice is amazing.
I like every song he has with Skylar Grey. It's only a couple, but I like them all.
So yeah, I don't know what it is. So I am going to on your, because I know Alden mentioned, he's talked about J. Cole a bunch. So I'll on your guys' recommendation, check them out.
Kendrick is one of those guys who I haven't listened to the new album, to be honest. I don't think at all, unless it came up on Spotify and I heard a song or two. But Kendrick Lamar is the guy where I'm like, he's my favorite rapper, not on his albums. Like, when he's on anybody else's stuff, he just kills it every single time.
Now, and I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
I said the same thing until this album.
Okay.
Like, this one, he, from start to finish, he killed it. And then months later, after it's been out for a few months, he had an interview and said that the whole album is supposed to be listened to backwards. And I was like, really? So I went back and listened to the whole thing backwards, because on the first song, he was telling this story where he met this woman, and he was like, she was looking for something, and he said, excuse me, ma'am, it looks like you've lost something. And she was like, yes, you have lost something. You have lost your life. And she shot him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, so that's the end of the story, but it starts
at the beginning.
Huh.
And then at the end, it's basically this song about him, like, growing up and all of this, like, and then I listened to it from end to beginning, and I was like, gotcha.
I gotta go back and listen now.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Here's something I'll say. I don't mean to put you on the spot like this. About Chris is there's only one other person I know in my life that doesn't swear, and it's my wife. And I'm noticing that Kendrick Lamar's CD is called Damn, but he won't say it. Which is so commendable to me. So anybody out there with kids, if they need a role model, it's this guy through and through. It's crazy because when he and I play games, I swear, and I feel bad swearing. Now, granted, I've met your girlfriend many times. She lets them fly like there's no tomorrow. But like, I try not to swear around Chris. I think it's great. But I was sitting there noticing, like, he's not gonna say it. You're like Kendrick Lamar's new CD. And I shit you not. And there I go right there. When you text me your album, you put Damn. I said to either Mary or Alden, I said, that's literally the first time I've ever said it.
Yeah, I felt like I had to. I was like, dang, it feels so weird to be tweeting this. I mean, texting this right now, but I had to, because I knew you wouldn't know.
Yeah, you're right.
And I didn't know Alden. I didn't know you listened to hip hop or whatever. So
it's super commendable, because Alden and I talk on our other podcast about my filthy mouth and his filthy mouth and how I'm much worse than him. And I wish, we said it on the one episode, I wish I wasn't like this, but it's so ingrained in me now, I just can't stop. And then there's my wife, who's just sweet as can be. And like, if she gets mad, she like swears in G-rated, like she won't swear. And
Brandon told me earlier, like, she was mad at somebody and she just said freaking, and
she's
like, wow, like, she's really
and I was
mad
like, wow, that's mad. That Mary's mad. She said freaking. So
what do you do when you? Because I mean, do you just listen to the songs, or do you not rap along to them, or do you censor yourself?
You know what's funny?
Exactly.
You know what's funny? When I first met my girl, we were listening to music a lot, you know, on trips or whatever the case may be. And she was like, I really noticed that every song that you sing, you always, you never say the curse word. Like, she was like, how do you do that? I was like, I don't know. I've been doing it ever since I was, you know, whenever I started really listening to music, I was like maybe in 8th grade or whatever. And from that point on, like, I've never said the words. I know how to censor myself and just keep it moving. Like he never even said the word. Like, it's just like he's
got that radio edit. Like,
you're a walking, talking radio edit.
It's a slight pause when the curse word comes, and I just keep it going with the words.
No wonder you get most liked by the media, because they can play all your interviews.
Anyway, because I remember when I kind of put 2 and 2 together that you don't swear. It's just, and I remember playing with something, and I apologized to you, and then I'm like, I don't know why I'm apologizing. You play football. Yeah. I can't imagine what you hear, but I guess just on the football field, you still keep it clean, or
I still keep it clean on the field. I slipped up one time because this game in college, a dude called me a word that I'm not going to say right now.
Gotcha.
You know, he said that, and like, that took me through the roof. I've never like acted out like that. And my coach, my running back coach, took me off the field because he knew like he needed me to calm down, because I never lose myself on the field. But yeah, I don't know why you apologize to me. I'm used to it. I just don't say it. Like, I just don't say it. I don't care if anybody else. It doesn't bother me at all.
Like I said, when I was talking to you and Cash, I'm sorry, I don't know if I should have said her name. I apologize. Now I'm going to make more note of it now. But her son said, I'm going to be like Chris when I grow up. I'm not going to swear. And your girl was like, good, please don't be like me. Be like him. So he's a good role model to have. So if anybody has kids out there. Now, what were we back to of the year? So we did your game, your album. What was your movie of the year?
Split.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
I think I might have to go with Split. Like, that was so good. That movie was so good. And it takes me a while sometimes to really figure out what's going on in movies. Like, I have to watch it 2 or 3 times. But that one, man, it was amazing.
Such a good movie.
Yeah.
And it was like Shyamalan. I'm sorry, good.
Oh, my bad. I don't like, for an actor to have so many different personalities in a movie, like, that in itself is amazing to me. How all actors can pretend to be somebody else. Like, Johnny Depp has never been himself in a movie that I've seen. Like, I don't know how you can do that. Like, how can you be someone else?
Let alone that many characters in one movie. It's not even, he gets to space it out between movies. It's all one movie.
And not even in one movie. There were scenes where he would start as one character and then switch to another, and you're just like, how did you do that? No, that was a really good movie. My movie of the year was Spider-Man, because I'm a big nerd and I don't know how to not be obsessed with those. But
Spider-Man was unreal too.
Yeah,
like, the negative reviews about that, I don't get it. I thought it was really good.
Mine was Logan, because
Logan is good as well.
Such a good movie.
Yeah. So Spider-Man was good. What are you looking forward to next year as far as video game goes? I know Spider-Man is supposed to be coming out in 2018. There's no date on it yet, so who knows for sure. But is there anything you're looking forward to, or are you just so into PUBG right now that you don't care what comes out?
Nah, number 1 on my list is God of War.
Okay.
Like, I cannot wait till that comes out. I played all of them, so I'm ready for that to come out. I'm ready for Spider-Man to come out. I think there's been a couple Spider-Mans made. I didn't really enjoy them. There was one, I believe, on PlayStation 3 early, like when PlayStation 3 first came out. I really had fun with that. So I'm looking forward to this new Spider-Man. I'm looking forward to more updates on PUBG specifically. The only thing I want fixed, and I wouldn't care about anything else, is if they could fix the fix the frame rate.
Yeah,
like
that
that's
rubber band. Is
that's the only thing. Like if they could make the frame rate a little more stable, you know, I know it won't be as stable or as good as it would on PC, but I mean that in itself, that is the reason why I really play it on PC, because it's just smooth. And I think once they fix that, I'm good.
Yeah, my PC isn't or shouldn't be as good as an Xbox, but my PC runs PUBG way better than my Xbox does. So, what do we got in the chat here?
Yeah, I just wanted to go up and check. What I was saying about, so Chris's player rocks this really sweet ponytail. That okay. Girl told him to get. So there is a thing in this game. Whenever he puts a helmet on, his ponytail floats like 2 feet above his head. It's amazing. And I question if other players see it. That's what I want to know. That's why we're always getting spotted. Yeah. There's just a ponytail floating above us all the time. So it's as soon as it'll look great. And then he puts a helmet on, and it's like this.
I wonder what happens if the ponytail gets shot, like if you take damage.
I don't know. That might be the reason why I'm dying sometimes.
They chop that ponytail.
Yeah. It's funny because when I was playing with Will and Hayward yesterday, Adam Hayward, I could just hear him keep saying, he was like, what is that, dude? Did y'all see that on the screen? And my headphones were messing up, so I couldn't tell him what it was.
It's just my ponytail. Yeah. I know another game that I know you and I talked about a while ago when it first announced is Red Dead. I know you're stoked.
Oh, yeah.
Red Dead.
Yeah,
I keep forgetting that's coming out.
Yeah, I know.
I keep forgetting, too. I'm hoping that drops this year.
I feel like
that was one of my more favorite games I think I've ever played, as well as Far Cry 2.
See, Far Cry 5 is in March. I can't wait.
I got on Far Cry during 3.
That's actually when I started playing it too.
Yeah, I started playing it on 3, and I was like, yes, this is one of the games I'll be addicted to. So I'm looking forward to those action games, pretty much adventure, whatever you want to call it. But
yeah,
that's pretty much it. And UFC, I'm ready for UFC 3 to come out.
Right. That's like relatively soon. I know they just started announcing it, but I thought the date wasn't all that far off. Like
it's
February?
I think it's February.
Okay, so yeah. Man, I can't wait. Yeah, Far Cry 5, I think is my most anticipated. Outside of like, you know, I can't wait for God of War. I cannot wait. Detroit Become Human I can't wait to play that game. But Far Cry, I get so lost in the Far Cry world, and this Far Cry 5 is in Montana, so it's going to be like completely different. But I can't wait.
Yeah, UFC 3 is supposed to come out February 2nd.
Okay.
So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, really not far then.
Yeah.
So I'm scrolling back up through the chat, see if we missed anybody's questions. Fastback says, Into the Night from Phil Collins. This is his favorite song getting ready for a football game. What is yours?
Into the Night.
I think in the air tonight?
Yeah, I think probably
just
probably. Night, but either way, that doesn't sound like a football song.
That song is on it.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Because
no, that was in high school. My team, we played that faithfully every single game. That was like one of our songs. We were waiting to hear that song.
I've noticed that. It's on. It's in a ton of sports game soundtracks too. That song's everywhere. I don't get the correlation, but I've noticed it's incredibly popular for whatever reason, and that gets you hype. Some Phil Collins.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's hype, but I don't know. It's just something about it that just sets the mood. Like we wanted to hear that song during our games, and I don't know. It's just something about that song. But for me, I listen to a lot of different things. I don't have any like one specific song, and I don't even get crazy hype. I'm kind of like hyped in my head,
low key.
Yeah.
Sorry, Repose is trying to join the chat. So if he gets in, he'll be talking crap. I know it's coming.
I like that you just said crap there. You were trying to say.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to.
That's the first time I've ever heard you say the word crap.
He'll be a meanie. Let's see. No. Yes, I just wanted to see if we missed any questions in here.
I was kind of looking. I don't think we really have.
A lot of questions. Come on, guys. Any questions for Chris before we?
More of statements.
Yeah. Phil Collins to get hyped for a game. Come on, man. Somebody's calling out on that.
I haven't watched Brawler.
This is the one
99. Yeah, I gotta watch that one.
So his girl's favorite actor, I found out, is Vince Vaughn. And it was weird because it was the next day that I found out about that Brawl and stuff. And I texted you about it. It is definitely not a Vince Vaughn movie because he's literally He's smashing
Serious?
people's skulls into the ground and stuff like that. Like, it is. I've never, and he's just like this. I never noticed how big Vince Vaughn is, but he's like 6'4".
Mm-hmm.
He's not jacked, but he's huge in this movie. It's really weird to see, but he plays it very well. So I was, oh, there he is. There's Raposa.
Raposa's here to talk crap.
Raposa is a guy that Chris and I got on the PlayStation train. He used to message us all the time about Xbox, and he would be like, "Man, what's PlayStation got that Xbox doesn't?" And we're like, blank, 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 blank. And then he texted me one day, and he's like, "Hey, I think it was his brother or something. He's like, he wants to trade me my Xbox for his PS4. Should I do it?" I'm like, "Yes." And we definitely got him. We told him play all the Uncharted's. He had all 4 Uncharted's beat within like 2 weeks. He couldn't stop playing. So Raposa, we've turned into a big gamer who says God of War is his most anticipated.
Has he played Horizon Zero Dawn yet?
I gave it to him. I gave him my copy, so I don't know if he got into it. Yeah, he hasn't. He texts me about gaming. I think he's been stuck on Call of Duty right now, but I gave him my copy, so we'll see what happens. I know he should love it.
Yeah, it's just.
He says, "Yeah, like, I'm deep."
Raposa's taking over the chat. So you said your most anticipated. You said God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead, MLB, obviously, and UFC. Try to think.
You think when MLB comes out, you're going to be able to put down PUBG?
Man, it'll be hard to say. Like, I really don't know if I'll be able to. I know I am, but right now, especially, I mean, we have 3 more months before that comes out.
Give or take.
Yeah,
maybe
usually April.
Yeah.
Well,
but it's towards the end of March. So you got about 2. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think PUBG in that amount of time will come a long way, since they pretty much update every Tuesday and try to do some servers, fix the servers every Thursday.
Mm-hmm. At some point, they're gonna have to add that desert map into.
Yeah, I think that's gonna come like later. Maybe, I think if they do that now, it's gonna upset a lot of fans, because they're gonna be like, "Oh, you need to fix the frame rate first before you put in a new map and all this kind of stuff." And but I don't know. I think I'm gonna be so hooked on. I think I'm gonna always be hooked on PUBG. Like, I've never had this type of addiction to a game since NCAA, like 2012 or something. Like, I played that game faithfully every single day.
Now, and there's another map coming to PUBG. And they're didn't they hint at like a winter map or something?
I think that was more of a concept that somebody made up, because I started kind of looking it up once you did, and I think it was just this guy. He kind of came up with the concept, given that it was Christmas.
I'd be down for that, though.
It was winter season and everything. That would be cool. I like the. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Like the PC, it has the different weather effects. Is they don't have it where it's super dark yet, but you get the rain and stuff like that. I think that really makes it fun.
There's fog too in the PC, isn't there?
There's fog,
so yeah, I would love to, and I'm sure they have to be working on bringing stuff over.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest games in the world right now. I feel like they're just going to keep making stuff until it stops selling. So, that's the kind of game that could sell just as well 8 years from now. That could end up being the highest selling game of all time.
Yeah,
it's because people will just want to get in on it, because as soon as you play it, it's just like, damn, like I'm 60th right now. I know I could have gotten a little bit better, because every time you die or something happens to you, there was something you could have done better. Yeah. So it makes you want to jump back in and try it again, unless you're really bad with the Xbox controller and you have other games to play.
I'm working on that too. Like, I feel like if I had a PlayStation controller, I would play way better than I do now.
Now, did you start messing with the paddles? Did you put the paddles on the Elite yet?
Yeah. So a couple days ago, I tried. I worked on the paddle. I had like the X button for one of the paddles. I still use that one. Okay. I had one for jumping and leaning left and right for like the top left, top right.
Oh, all right, smart.
But my hand is so big, I keep pressing the buttons back there. So I took them all off because I couldn't. I was messing up really bad, even with using the paddle for the X button. When I get in the firefight, I end up hitting X
And you're
Well,
just
hitting the paddle instead. I end up hitting the paddle instead of the trigger. So
you're just like a crazy person jumping up and down.
Yeah, man. I tried to use it. It's not working out too well for me. I wish I could get better with it because it definitely helps to not have to pull your hand off that right analog stick at all. But
now, what about just going to 2 paddles instead of 4? Do you think you could like do the bottom 2 and?
Yeah, so
I was thinking about doing 1 as Y for picking stuff up because for some reason, whenever my dude is in the vicinity of picking something up, he's just like, and he's never picking up what I wanted him to. So I was wondering if, tapping as Y, I could pick stuff up quicker, which would keep it, you can reload quicker, but you have X. So what if you just.
Yeah, so X is the picking up. Oh,
is it X?
Yeah, it's X.
You know what I'm saying? Y because I'm just not used to it.
Yeah.
So it's a PlayStation boy over there.
Yeah. So I
thought it was Y. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
whatever.
It's X. So that's what
man, leave me alone.
That's what I've been using. It definitely that helps for sure. But I was trying to use that as well as like using like the top 2 to kind of like lean left and right and things like that. But it's not. I wanted to actually try to see if I could use one of the paddles as the shooting, as the right trigger because I've been pressing it so much trying to use that back one now. It might work out for
because you would cut down it's not much, but just the little bit of doing this, you could really cut down with the.
I've been working on that too. I changed my sensitivity with my right trigger to it's like at 58% right now, so I barely have to like tap it.
All right.
Yeah. For it to start shooting.
We got a few questions from Raposa who took over the chat.
He asked about Monster Hunter.
Oh yeah, what do you guys think of Monster Hunter? That's all me. I love Monster Hunter, but Monster Hunter is a game where if the first time you play it, I played it probably 5 times. I played the demos and the Wii U one because I had a friend that really wanted to play it with me, and I just couldn't get into it. But as you like learn the game, it becomes fun. It's really slow, and it's like your character takes forever to do whatever you press. You swing a sword, and he just like so. You have to learn, like you can't just keep pressing buttons like you do in a lot of games.
Okay.
You have to press exactly what you need to press and when you press it. So I really loved Monster Hunter, and I can't wait for the game to come out. Can we all slow clap for that Xbox finally got a game that people actually like that isn't on PS4? Doc's not on the show this week, so we can clap.
We can do all that you want over here.
But he's going to come back from his cruise and be really mad about that comment.
That Cuphead game.
Cuphead's really good.
You tried it?
No, I don't. It seems like you're playing a cartoon episode. I don't think I would like it.
Yeah, you might not.
Yeah, I've like talked to you about other cartoony games, and you've always been like, nah. And I don't. So the art style of it is definitely cartoony, but the hook of that game is its difficulty. It's just like if you like incredibly hard games, then you want to challenge yourself. Then this is the one. But if you don't want to go in and have a big challenge, then just steer far away.
Yeah, it is a hard game. Yeah. And I love hard games, but it's tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've watched it on Twitch and everything, and I don't see what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Like I don't understand what's hard about it. Because I've heard it's like incredibly hard, but I'm watching it and I'm like, what's going on? Like I really don't know what's going on, to be honest with you. Maybe I'll have to play it to see, but it looks like I'm just watching a cartoon, so I don't even know what they're controlling.
We'll figure out. I don't know how to do it yet, but we'll figure out how to do the game share thing on Xbox, and I'll let you play it and see if you like it or not. I don't know how to do that, but
did you ever play any Mega Man games or anything like that?
I did Mega Man.
It's a lot like Mega Man in that like it's not hard if you know what to do and like you know the timing and all that. But you have to learn all that before you get good at the game. So every time you go into that level, you're just getting like a little bit further where you're like, I need to jump here when this thing comes across the screen. And then when I get over here, I need to jump here. And
it's a lot of trial and error.
So I saw like when I was watching it, it was a guy like he was doing the speed runs or whatever. So it was like he knew everything about it. So I think that might have been why I was like, all right.
Watch me play it and you'll be like, oh, okay. I'm terrible at it. But it is fun. But it angered me so much, I didn't put a whole lot of time into it. Raposa wants to know where you got your hoodie.
Is there a story behind that?
No, man, I was on the store. So there's this company called the Hundreds. They're based in LA, They have some pretty neat stuff, I think. And when Florida State played in the national championship game in 2013, I was in LA, went to the store. They hooked me up with some stuff. So I've been following them on Twitter and everything, looking at their releases. They released this. And I was like, yeah, man, I definitely have to get this.
Yeah. Nice.
So, appreciate you. And yes, I do use my Design Lab controller
From David.
I love it. They just don't have paddles on the back. So I'm just trying to cheat on PUBG. Let me be great, please.
You got this.
Hoodies from it.
I know that it's from because I have is on the back, but I watched the movie. Yeah, it's on the back.
I still haven't seen the movie.
But I didn't know it. I didn't get the lover loser thing. I didn't get it, but I like the shirt.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to go see it yet. So I want to.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it soon. But maybe I overlooked that. I might have to go watch it again.
You said 2 or 3 times.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need that to show up on Vudu.
It will. So. You two both get to share on my extensive Vudu. Comes out January 9th on Blu-ray, so that's when it'll be.
All right.
But yeah, so that's what they signed on his cast. Loser. You good?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I get it now. I get it.
It's pretty badass. I didn't even notice the it on the back, like over the hoodie.
Yeah, I don't know how Anthony even got that out of it.
I thought it feels like the mic's blocking it too. I don't even know how I saw it.
I thought it was blocking it.
That guy's sharp eyes over there. All right. Well, what else do we got? Yeah. What's up?
Oh no, he just explained that she signed loser and he put a V on it.
Okay. Alden, about your poll last week.
Yeah. Oh, so that's right. We didn't even talk about what we played.
No. Well, PUBG. Okay,
PUBG. My poll. Damn, what won?
Firewatch.
It's been 2 weeks. Oh yeah, Firewatch won. I played Firewatch. I started out playing with my fiance Tanya because that was a game she really wanted to play or watch me play. But about an hour in, she was like, "I'm gonna do something else. Like I'm kind of bored." And it is kind of a slow build kind of game, which is funny because it's a short game. I think the game is like 4 hours long.
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything about the ending. I really liked Firewatch. It did a lot of cool stuff. It got really interesting towards the end. Like that slow build was important for making it weird when it got weird. I mean, she'd asked me when I was playing, she says, "It's going to get like weird or suspenseful at all?" And I said, "Probably not. No, these kind of games don't usually. It's like Gone Home. It doesn't really get suspenseful."
Yeah, for sure.
But this one does. And the ending left a little bit to be desired for me. I don't know if I should give anything away.
It's tricky because not a whole lot happens in that game, so anything you really talk about is kind of spoilery.
Right.
And it's a walking simulator, and some people just flat out don't like that genre too. So
I was just about to ask, what is it?
Yeah,
it's one of those games where there's a little bit more interaction in this one than there is in a lot of these other kinds of games, but you're just walking around a big open area and reading stuff that you find. And when you read that, you're putting the story together to try to figure out what's happening. And then there's some weird stuff happening. There's some people that go missing. There's crazy people out in the woods. So you're trying to figure out what's going on with them. I don't want to say anything that happens, but I think it's safe to say I expected the ending to be a lot more crazy, and the ending is just kind of like, all right, it's over now.
Yeah, I really like that game. I don't know why that game just really like that game a lot. And that's the thing. But the thing with like walking simulators is they are very hit or miss. Because in a walking simulator you are walking and interacting with stuff. There is no shooting. There is no. It's all story. So if the story's not hooking you, then a walking simulator is going to be the most boring thing you could possibly sink any time into. Because if there's no story, then you're literally just walking around picking stuff up. But I liked and like I've played Gone Home, and I know all the critical. I think I like Firewatch more than Gone Home. I don't understand all the critical rave behind Gone Home. If the thing about Gone Home, the like twist, if you will, at the end, the reveal at the end. If you didn't see that 5 minutes into the game, then I don't know how you didn't see that. So it didn't grab me, and maybe if I had no idea that was coming, it would have. But I really don't think it still would have at that point. But I think I like Firewatch more than God.
I think I like Firewatch more just because there's another character that you're talking to throughout the game. So you don't see anybody for most of the game, but you're walking around with a walkie-talkie and there's a lady, because you're not a firefighter, but you're a guy out in the what's that? Yellowstone National Park. That's just in a tower watching for fires to make sure that nothing starts so wildfires don't start. So you don't see anybody through the whole game except for you talk to this one lady who is your supervisor, I guess.
Yeah,
and she's in another tower. You can't see each other, but she can see your tower, so she can talk to you and she lets you know, okay, go over here and do this. So you kind of build a relationship with her. So that's really what the game is kind of about. But again, like just the way it ended was kind of like, okay. And I get like it's trying to point out the fact that like, everybody just has a normal life.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it wasn't going to be some, supernatural thing or anything like that. I did not prepare for my poll.
So Brandon's got to do his poll. And I think anybody who's watching on the YouTube stream, either right now or later, watch the moment in time in his face when he realized he didn't prepare a poll, so he doesn't know what games he's going to throw up on his poll. Anybody in the chat, throw up some ideas for what Brandon could play. He's probably got it.
I would say I'd ask Chris, but he would just tell me to play PUBG.
Yeah.
He'd be like, play MLB. All right.
What'd you pick up in the sale last week? Right now, by the way, PSN has it's the end of the holiday sale. They took a lot of the stuff off this week, but there's still so many games on sale that are super
ridiculous.
Cheap. By the way,
hard to comb through.
Play Klaus. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter. Brandon makes fun of me for loving this game so much. It's just a silly little platformer, but it's really cool what they do in the game. Like, you're controlling the character on the screen, but even as early as the first level, he realizes that he's not in control and that you're controlling him. So he starts talking to you and he's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, can you help me out over here? I didn't want you to do that over there. Can you do this over here? And then later on in the game, you get access to a second character and you're controlling both of the characters at the same time to try to get through these levels. And each of them can get through different parts of the level. So you might have to branch off and you're just this guy now. So you can go back and backtrack and break down this wall so the little guy can get through it. It's a really cool game that they do some really interesting things. Nobody talks about it. The game didn't sell well. And if you look at their Twitter at all, I told Brandon earlier, but the artist for the game posted something like 5 or 6 months back that was a picture of the main character from the game, the little cartoon character, sitting up against a wall holding a cup begging for change. And the caption was Klaus when he found out how well his game sold.
Wow.
So I'm sure they're a little upset about it.
Yeah,
it's a really cool game. And that's why I want people to play it. It's $3.99 right now, so just give it a shot. I tried to get codes so I could give them away on the show, but
still trying,
still waiting.
Whatever that name of that company,
La Cosa Entertainment.
Nailed it. All right, so here, I vamped
long enough to give Brandon a chance to pick up some games.
I came prepared. I knew what I wanted. So I'm going to put up 3 games for you guys to.
Dan recommends A Hat in Time.
I want them to be slightly older.
Okay, fair enough.
Slightly older. Hat in Time is one that Alden and I both have and are getting ready to play. Actually,
we'll talk about that next week.
But the 3 I want to put on my list, I've put a little bit of time into each of these, but maybe an hour max. The first one is Prey. Because I know I'm going to like Prey because I like Dishonored. And I tried to get you into Dishonored. You weren't having it. Did you ever actually try it?
I haven't tried it.
Killing me. So it's from the same studio, so it definitely has a Dishonored vibe. The second game I want to put on there is Song of the Deep, which I did like when I played it again. I never went back to it. The third one, and I'm going to ask you about this because I know you and I have been talking about this game lately. All right. So if you take Wildlands and you take the online component of it, how much do you think there is in a campaign, if you will, of Wildlands? Is it pretty meaty? You got a decent chunk of time in there?
Nah, I don't think. I think when you talk about that campaign, it's not really long.
Gotcha.
I think what would make it long is just basically how much of like the side missions and all that stuff that you,
which I'll do. I'm obsessed with side missions.
I kind of just went through the story.
Okay.
And it was, to me, it was long enough.
Okay.
Like, it started the story, what was going on, and then at the end you was dealing with the cartel leader.
Okay.
You know, there's different areas of the map where you have to kill these the different crime bosses and everything, and it's a good bit of them. But it took me it did take me a couple days to beat it, and I was on it on a pretty consistent level. But to me, it was fun. It's more fun when you're playing with other guys.
Sure,
yeah, because you can play with at least 3 other people. So that was fun. I got to do that too, but that's what extended my time because I was far ahead of everybody else. And then when my friends wanted to get on, I was replaying missions to help them.
Well, if I can pull you off of PUBG,
yeah,
not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know I'm not. So I'm gonna put up Prey, Song of the Deep, and Ghost Recon Wildlands. And the way that works is you guys will vote, and then the winning one I will play and report on next week. Something we do because we've had way too many ties. Out of those 3 games, Chris, what would you recommend? I know you poked time into Wildlands, so
yeah, the only one I could say is Wildlands. I don't know much about Prey and Song of the Deep. I'm not sure what that is.
Song of the Deep's like a Metroidvania, like backtrack. It's a
2D side scroller, but you're underwater.
Yeah, it's just interesting. It's
the art's really cool.
And it's one that called me a while ago, and I started playing it when it first came out, and I just got sidetracked. But the time I put into it, I feel like I'd have to start all over again now.
Yeah.
But what about you, Autumn? What would you recommend?
I think Prey, mostly because I went through and I was trying to figure out what I should get in the holiday sale. So I went through my games list and tried to make a note of all the games that I want to play this year. It's so many. So I had to start cutting games out where I'm like, I'm not going to get to that one. I might never play that one. Let me push it to the side. Prey is one where I was like, I want to see what that game is and I want to play it. I'm never going to get to it. I'm literally never going to get to it. So I want you to play it. Tell me all about it. And then I can pretend like I played it.
Okay. That works for me. You can live vicariously through my Prey. So where'd it go? Super Cooper was talking about the Predator add-on. That is what put Wildlands back on my map, like wanting to play. Granted, I don't have that map. I would just, if it wins for the show purpose, I would just play the main story. But that Predator map, I've been talking to him about this thing like crazy. I love Predator. I love those movies, and I would just love to be in that world. It's got to be awesome. Yeah. It's weird because I don't see, I haven't looked up reviews of it, but it's not, you don't really see people talking about it.
Yeah, no, not at all.
I really want to play it.
I think that happened because after you beat the regular campaign, pretty much everybody stopped playing it because they promised the PvP to come along.
Yeah.
And then they had 2 DLCs come in. Nobody wanted to play it because they was like, we just want the PvP. And now they did this Predator thing that it sounds cool, but now I think at this point, now that the PvP is in and it's kind of fun. It's pretty fun. I feel like because they waited so long to release it, nobody really wants to play it. So it's kind of died a little bit. Also, to add in there, Super Cooper did say that there's 2 different endings to Wildlands in the campaign mode, so you have to make a choice at the end.
Maybe I can do a creative save.
Yeah, I made my choice off anger, so that'll explain that, Super Cooper.
All right. So that was like with Mafia when you and I were playing it simultaneously. We were like, we ended up picking the same ending. So I don't know what I watched the other ending on YouTube. Yeah. We picked the better ending. Yeah. But yeah, so all right, so I'm gonna put that list up then, and you guys can let me know what you want to play, and I guess we'll start signing off here, Alden.
Yep. Are we good? Anything you guys want to add, Chris?
I'm good. Just appreciate everybody for listening.
I appreciate that you came back on after us jinxing you. So.
Nah, y'all didn't jinx me, man.
Right. I guess we did learn that you don't believe in jinxes, so
this is true.
Phew.
So I noticed something today. Chris came on episode 3 the week before the first game of the season, and he came on a week after the season. Look at that, man. Appreciate that. Now we'll get you on in the off season. I'm trying. So
MLB.
I'm trying to get. So my buddy Ramon Russell works on MLB The Show.
Mhm.
I'm trying to get him to come on. He's all for it. He has to clear it through Sony PR and all that fun stuff. So I understand if he can't, but if he can, we should try to get you on. We can all
Yeah, man, I would
MLB The
definitely
Show,
want
man.
to. Yeah, that'll be cool. I've said it before. Like, I think the coolest job ever is people that play video games for a living and the ones that make it. Like, that to me is like dream, like the dream job.
See,
They might say NFL, some people like that, but I think the dream job.
you're
is
like, I'm doing that.
developing video games. Like, that's like
awesome.
the coolest thing in the world to me. So
I think developing video games would be so cool, except everybody that I've ever talked to that develops any games gets so far into it that they don't have time to play anything. So they play like 2 games a year, and that would kill me.
That backlog would never.
Like,
end.
you love games so much that you get into making them, and then you can't play them anymore. It's like a catch-22.
That is true.
yeah. See, I think I would never, like, if I had that job, I would never ever sleep because I still have to get my job in.
You don't sleep now. You're a
I
football
know.
player. Brandon, anything you want to say before we close up shop?
Nah, just echo what Alden said. Thanks for coming back on. These people love you. What I like is when you were on the last show. Now, granted, your followers on Twitter are already insanely high, but there were so many people that just from you coming on here, they saw a different side of you. People that aren't Redskins fans, you know, like Diego is a huge Raiders fan, but these people just. They loved you for coming on here, and you're going to get more of it. So once again, thank you for coming on, man. We appreciate
I
that.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we thank you for coming on. We hope to have you on more. Friend of ours and friend of the show. We need to have you on with Raposa. We need to have you on when Doc is back. We hope to have Doc back next week.
I don't know. He's like on a 19-week vacation.
Yeah,
Like
I think he's been on vacation for 1.5 years.
Yeah, he's just sailing around the world right now.
But when he's back, right now he's on a boat. When he's back in the hotel, if he has good enough internet, he's going to be back on the show with us. So fingers crossed. Those of you who stuck with us, even though he's not here, hope our personalities were enough to keep you involved. Those of you who came in to watch Chris, he'll be back eventually, but stick with us until he's back. It's been great having you guys on the show. Great having you guys in the chat. Thank you for talking with us. We're live every Wednesday night, so get back on, talk with us, have fun with us. And call us names if you want. We don't care. Just get on here. Thank you guys for joining us. This has been Digital Hoarders episode 18. Have a great week.